Throughout project planning, a number of mapping exercises will have been discussed with you. The first mapping exercise that will need to take place, and this is the mapping of your opening balances. This is to allow the transfer of your trial balance from your current system over onto Navigator. This can be done a few weeks after live, and that will allow you to fully reconcile your historical system before transfer. Normally, a Navigator trainer will issue you with a spreadsheet to enable this task to take place. Once the mapping has been done, it will then be issued back to your Navigator trainer or your project manager to allow for a sanity check to take place, and then they will import it into Navigator for you. The month-end visit cannot take place until opening balances have been imported into Navigator. If you are transferring mid-month, then we can transfer two sets of opening balances, the first one for your last fully completed month and the second for the movement of the current month. The spreadsheet that you will be issued will look as following. And what we have is initially a details tab on there, and it just lets you know what it is that we are doing, as you've just seen before. The main thing with the mapping exercise is to allow the best possible match between your historical system and Navigator. So for this, you will be using the full 10 element nominal structure. Now we have put things in place to enable that help with this. So what you will have on your spreadsheet is actually details of all 10 elements. So the first element is your company number. You then have your branch. So if it was your balance sheet, it would be 0, and then your profit and loss branches from then. You then have your departments. Again, you have a 0, which is your balance sheet, and then the rest of the codes are profit and loss accounts. You then have your sales types and your type of code that it is. Codes 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 are profit and loss. And then you've got 60 and 70, which are asset or liability. The code itself is what is it? And you will have already been provided with a training sheet that actually details this in more detail for you. You can find a full list of these nominal codes within your Navigator system. To find them, go into Navigator, go to your nominal ledger, go to Utilities at the top and Setup. Within the Setup, there is a tab that is called Nominal Code. Column here that is described as code actually tells you what the code itself is, and what also helps you is you have also got the column there for the types that are available. So for example, on here we can see that corporation tax, its nominal code is 854 and its type is 70. So we can see here we've got 70, which is liability, and then your 854 would be your code. If it is a balance sheet code, you only need to go to these 5 elements. If it's a profit and loss code, you need to go to these elements, which is the extended trial balance. And this is made up of your customer type, your parts franchise, your job type, your vehicle makes, and your vehicle models. A lot of this will be pre-prepared for you by your Navigator trainer. If you do need to find out any makes, any nominal code for makes and model, again, you find them in Navigator. If you go into Navigator, staying within Utilities and Setup in the nominal, you come along to make and model. On the left-hand side, it will give you the nominal code for your make. So for example, here is a nominal code 1, where Ford would be 9. What you can then do is double click on the make that you need, and it will then give you all of your nominal codes for your models. So as you can see here, if we look at a Ford Focus, our nominal code would be 9 and 1. Using that, this will enable you to fill in the trial balance itself. So what you would do is you would copy and paste across your previous nominal code, your previous description, and the closing balance that you are working to. As I say, we can insert an extra column if we need to bring in both of those. It is then just a case of going across and filling in what you need to fill in and then follow it through. What you will see as you're filling in these boxes, there is 2 columns, O and R. You do not need to worry about these or be concerned about them. They are just there to enable us to transfer it over as easy as possible in an opening journal for you. Once you have done the mapping exercise, this is what you should be left with. So this is copied over from Sage. So these were my Sage codes, my Sage descriptions. As you can see on here, we have got 2 codes. So we've got one as of the end of October, and then we've got the movement for November. As you can see, moving across, we've got all the codes filled in. As mentioned earlier, if you are only going as far as balance sheet level, you would just go up to the code column, column I. But if we are doing profit and loss, as you can see, we then start moving across right the way from column J to column N, and we're then putting in the different elements that we need. Once this is completed, as said earlier, you will transfer this across to your Navigator trainer or your project manager. A sanity check will take place, and then this will be transferred into an Excel journal, which will then be imported into Navigator for you. This then is your system and the full knitting together of your accounts between old and new. Given some systems, you may not be able to go to the full extended part of the nominal code, but we would suggest you do as much as you possibly can to get the best fit for this.